Remember the wild trade that paired Chris Paul with Kobe in LA? Alright, that never happened, but it was so close to reality. Instead, Paul is still ringless 12 years later, and Kobe wouldn't win another ring in his career. That trade would have changed the NBA landscape entirely, but ended up becoming one of the most controversial moments in league history. This is the story of that trade. 2011 was a tricky year for the NBA. The lockout shortened the season and changed many things. The Lakers had some big ideas as the season started and eyed big names to help out Kobe, but the focus was on the star guard on the New Orleans Hornets. The Hornets were in a weird spot themselves as Paul wanted out. So the Lakers came up with a blockbuster trade that would send Paul Gasol to Houston and Lamar Odom to the Hornets with a bunch of other pieces to make it work, just to get Chris Paul in the purple and gold, and the NBA was stunned. Many thought it was unfair and the Lakers would simply dominate the league, and it was all but set, just waiting on the commissioner's approval, but David Stern nixed the deal. Stern was technically the owner of the Hornets, so he had the right to veto this trade. You see, the former owner couldn't make up for the team's financial losses anymore, so the NBA stepped in and purchased the team for $300 million, also paying for all the debt that the team incurred from the previous owner. But it was only a temporary fix, as Stern wanted to sell the Hornets as quickly as he could at the best price. So ultimately, the deal was vetoed by Stern because he didn't like the trade package in return for Chris Paul, and they needed the franchise to be valuable as they attempted to sell it. But can you just imagine how everything would be if it went through? Kobe doesn't get stuck with a disaster super team that came the very next season. Instead, he would have gotten the best point guard in the league in his prime. It would have made things very interesting, and there's a good chance we would have seen LeBron versus Kobe Finals matchup. Needless to say, Paul did end up in LA soon after, but just not in the purple and gold. Still, we'll always wonder, what if?